18 minutes. That's all the time the President of the United States had to decide the fate of 330 million people. Welcome to Recap World. This isn't just a movie, it's a clinical, horrifying countdown to global annihilation. We're cutting out the noise and the character deep dives. The world doesn't end with a declared war, it begins with an anomaly. The film opens on a deceptively normal morning inside the White House Situation Room in Washington, D.C. Oversight Officer Captain Olivia Walker is monitoring a global landscape vibrating with instability. She notes a surge in background geopolitical chatter, including an imminent military exercise by China's PLA and suspicious communication between Iran and its proxies. But the most troubling sign? An inexplicable silence from North Korea following a recent ballistic missile test. These were all mere signals until the definitive warning lights flashed red. Early warning radars confirm it. A single hostile ballistic missile launch. Its trajectory is set, and the confirmed target is Chicago, one of America's largest population centers. Adding immediate complexity, the initial analysis indicates the missile was launched by a submarine, placing the source as fundamentally ambiguous. The clock begins ticking down from just 18 minutes. The crisis must be managed with zero confirmed information on the aggressor. The crisis instantly accelerates up the chain of command. General Anthony Brady, commander of the United States Strategic Command, or STRATCOM, in Nebraska, is informed of the launch and joins the Secured Crisis Conference. His team is tasked with coordinating the defense. Simultaneously, Lieutenant Commander Robert Reeves scrambles to accompany the president, codenamed Icon, who is at a public engagement in Pennsylvania, carrying the football, the nuclear launch briefcase. Meanwhile, Secretary of Defense Red Baker begins his desperate day at the Pentagon. The first and only line of physical defense falls to the Missile Defense Crews in Fort Greely, Alaska. Under the command of Major Daniel Gonzalez, the team preps the Ground-Based Interceptors, or GBI. This system represents the nation's final, desperate hope to shoot down the warhead while it is still arcing above the atmosphere. But the attempt to launch the Ground-Based Interceptors rapidly transforms the plot from crisis management into technological horror. The mission, already characterized as akin to hitting a bullet with a bullet, quickly deteriorates. The first GBI is launched but suffers a catastrophic technical failure. The kill vehicle fails to separate from its rocket booster. The defense system, built at staggering cost, fails not through enemy action, but through mechanical incompetence. Panic is contained only by discipline, and a second GBI is immediately launched. This time the launch is successful, but the defense computers deliver the devastating news: a complete miss. The system, officials note, only has a success rate of about 61% and only if the booster separation succeeds. The failure is the point of no return. Once the second interceptor misses, the missile enters the terminal phase, plunging back into the atmosphere and darting toward Chicago. The narrative confirms that at this stage there is nothing that anyone can do about it. The crisis pivots entirely from military defense to political decision. The only remaining option is retaliation. The president is rapidly transferred via Marine One as essential government staff scramble toward the secure nuclear shelter at Raven Rock Mountain Complex. Among those urgently bundled to safety is NSA advisor Anna Park, the North Korea expert, retrieved from a historical reenactment to offer immediate urgent counsel. Analysts observe that China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, and Pakistan have all mobilized their forces, but the intelligence remains fatally inconclusive. The failure to attribute the submarine-launched ballistic missile to a single nation forces the president into a no-win scenario. Critically, Secretary of Defense Red Baker is rendered ineffective. His personal turmoil is visceral. His daughter, Caroline, is confirmed to be in Chicago. This terrifying personal dread compromises his professional counsel, illustrating that even the most competent professionals break down when the crisis becomes immediate. With mere seconds remaining, the president is presented with two radically opposed options from his most powerful advisors. First, General Anthony Brady's hardline advice: launch a massive preemptive retaliatory strike immediately against all three major nuclear nations, Russia, China, and North Korea, hitting all their missile sites and command stations. Brady argues this maximalist response is necessary to nip escalation in the bud, fearing that letting Chicago go up in smoke without responding at all would be interpreted as lethal weakness, ensuring widespread domestic chaos and inviting further attacks. Second, Deputy National Security Advisor Jake Barrington's desperate plea for restraint. Barrington argues the president must wait for conclusive proof. He notes the very real possibility that the warhead might malfunction, especially if launched by a newer, less sophisticated program, and advises absorbing the strike rather than initiating a global nuclear war based on insufficient data. The agonizing political gridlock breaks. The missile is nearing its detonation window. The president aboard Marine One has accessed the football and holds the nuclear launch codes. He is required to read out a specific verification code to confirm the launch command. The final scenes show him beginning to recite the required words to unleash a nuclear response, those on the other line awaiting his final definitive order. The film cuts before the president gives the final command, and crucially, before the missile impact is confirmed. The plot of A House of Dynamite concludes not with an explosion, but with a terrifying, ambiguous silence, leaving the fate of the nation and the world completely unresolved. And that is the terrifying plot of A House of Dynamite. The director intentionally left that ending unresolved because the real antagonist isn't a nation, it's the system designed to decide the fate of billions in under 20 minutes. Now it's your turn to make the choice. If you were the president faced with the failure of the defense system and two terrifying, conflicted advisory options, what three words would you say next? Let us know in the comments below. Dive into the discussion, tell us your choice, and if you want more exhaustive plot recaps that refuse to waffle, hit the like button and subscribe for weekly content. We'll see you in the next recap.